What's up? What's up? Well, it is, what the hell say? It's Saturday the 13th. Saturday, February 13th. The day before Valentine's Day. You guys have heard me say in many of my videos, it's colder than a well digger's ass or colder than a coal miner's ass. Those are my two favorite sayings. Yeah, those days I said that don't compare to today. It is actually 4 degrees below zero right now, and they say with the wind chills, it's roughly between 25 and 30 below. They were calling for a whole bunch of snow last night, but they've been doing that all week, and we never got any of it. But we got about 3 to 4 inches in Lewiston around my house, and I went to Niagara Falls to take care of my apartment complexes that I do there. I'm roasting already, got the heat cranked in here. And it's bright, the sun is bright today, holy cow. Yeah, so I went to Niagara Falls to clear out the apartment complexes that I do, and they had all of a foot of snow up there. So I got those cleared, and I made my way back down toward Lewiston, Youngstown. Lewiston, like I said, 3 to 4 inches. Youngstown, and maybe 2. Those are the immediate towns near me, and that's pretty much the only areas I plow. So I am now going back out. I didn't plan on going anywhere today. I was like, screw this crap. I'm not leaving the house. It's too damn cold. I got all my driveways, all my lots done last night. I didn't plan on going anywhere. But the way it is with these apartment complexes, you know, I plow out the main runs of it, and I plow out all the spots that I can get. But there's always a lot of cars there. So some areas I just can't get to the first time through. So whenever I plow them, like overnight or something, I always go back the next day, because the smart ones, which there doesn't appear to be too many, this is my 3rd year plowing them, it doesn't appear to be too many smart ones up there in those apartment complexes, but the smart ones anyway, after I run through and I plow, they will go out at some point and move their cars over to all the spots that I cleaned up. And so then the next day when I go up, I can finish cleaning up. I just pull the wings off my plow because it's a lot easier without the wings. I can go up there and clear out the other spots that I haven't done yet, where all those other cars were. So that's the plan. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to, hopefully a lot of these people have freaking moved their cars. It's a Saturday, so I doubt a lot of them haven't gone to work. I'm hoping most of them just moved their damn cars anyway. So I'm going to go up there and attempt to clear out these spots. What I'm going to do is I think I've showed you guys before, I have this magnet, and it actually says GoPro on it. It's a GoPro magnet, or just whatever magnet, and they put their stickers on it. But anyway, it comes with the GoPro mount right on it. And it's got 90 pounds of pull. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go up there, and I'm going to put the GoPro in its waterproof case. I'm going to stick it in that magnet. I'm going to mount it somewhere to my truck. I have no idea where yet, but I'm going to mount it somewhere, and I'm just going to film clearing up these spots. I couldn't film anything last night when I was plowing because I left the house. I'm like, oh, damn it, I forgot my GoPro. Well, I got home last night, and I was taking my coat off, and I was emptying all the crap out of my pockets. And where was my GoPro? Right there in my frickin' pocket. I had it all night, never even knew it. But, yeah, so that's why I didn't film anything last night. But I am going to, I need some gas now because I'm pretty low. I don't like letting it get below half a tank in the wintertime. But I'm down at like in between a quarter and a half right now because I just didn't feel like getting gas last night. So, like I said, it's colder than shit out there. So, I'm going to put some gas in this thing. What you guys will see next is wherever I decide to mount this magnet on top of the roof. And we'll get some footage there. All right. Alright guys, so here we go. This is, I'm just pushing it right up against this fence. I wish they would just tear this damn fence down. There's nothing but woods right behind it. It really doesn't do anything. I guess it's a border for their property. It's been there forever. I've pushed snow up against it in so many places. I've actually pushed half the fence over at the other end. There's just no support behind it. It's beat, old, and just needs to come down. But anyway, I just push snug right up to it. It's easier. The only other alternative is over to my right. There's a spot where I make a pile, and then over to the left, you'll see it in a minute here as I'm leaving out of this section. And what I keep backing into is the other exit that goes right out to the main road. But my only other option here would be to pull up to the fence, back drag it out, and then push it all the way down to one of the two ends. And that's just a pain. I'm not doing that. So especially since I know that half of this is going to melt before we get any more anyway, or probably all of it. It's supposed to be in the 40s again next week. I'm just pulling this away from the car a little bit here, and then just pushing it right against the fence. Way off in front of me over there, you'll see more tall buildings. That's the other big lot that I do. There was only like 2 or 3 spots over there I needed to clear, so I didn't really worry about... I didn't put the camera on at that point. I didn't mount it to the roof, as you can tell. I forgot I have that huge 50-inch light bar up there, so it stands in the way of me putting the camera there. And the light bar is aluminum, so it's not like it's really going to stick very well. That right there is the apartment manager. He goes back and forth from the ones that are down the road, which you'll see after these, and then to all these over here, and he's responsible for all the sidewalks, and he snow blows them all, shovels off the doorways, and he salts everything. I do not put down salt in these parking lots. They don't want salt, and it is also in my contract that I'm not responsible for slippage, people falling, people sliding with their cars and running into things. I'm not responsible for any of that because the customer does not want ice melt, salt, anything of the sort. So you got to make sure that's in your contracts, guys, because if you just don't salt and something happens, you could be held liable. But a lot of these spots, I know it looks like there's snow here. There's barely even a ½ inch. There's a pile right there to the right. And there's the other parking lot right across. That's a big lot with a center median on each side that you see the cars are pulled up against. And there's the piles I stacked up last night. There was nothing there last night. Before the snow, it was all green grass. That all fell last night. Alright, I'm just going to speed it up here a little bit. There's the entrance right there to the left I just passed. That was what I was backing into on the other side. But I'm going to speed it up while I zoom down the road here. This is Buffalo Avenue in Niagara Falls. And I'm just zooming down the road here. That magnet camera mount seems to be holding pretty well. I wasn't going that fast, probably 30, 35 miles an hour. But this is an extremely bumpy road. But I'm going down to the other set of apartments now. And here they are. And this main road right here, this is actually a city street getting in here to these apartments. They wanted me to plow these two. They've asked me a couple times over the years, and I tell them no, it's against the law for me to drop a blade on a city street. And I said, you call the city, get permission, and it just, see, it dead ends. It just goes around this turnaround. There's a lot on the left, a lot on the right. But I told him, I said, you call the city, you get written permission from them that authorizes me to plow that street, and I'll work it into the bid, and we will do it. And the whole time I'm knowing it's not going to happen. There's no way the city's going to, it's too much liability. There's no way the city's going to allow that to happen. So, just as I thought, he called me back and he said, yeah, city said no way. Well, I got a call from the city the next day saying, we just wanted to let you know. He called and asked us, and this is what we told him. I said, yeah, I knew you were going to tell him that. I just wanted to hear it. I wanted him to hear it from you guys because they were pretty persistent on it. What you see out in front there, that is the upper Niagara River. See here, I'm pushing this little bits up over here. Like I said, there's like that lot that I was in, and these lots here. It looks like there's snow there. It's actually only about a ½ inch. There's not even a full inch there. It's just a dusting of what come through last night after I'd left here. So I'm not plowing the whole lot or scraping the whole lot up just for that. it's just, it doesn't really matter. Once you, with as cold as it is right now anyway, that dusting will give you more traction than if I scrape it bare, because then it's just going to be a solid sheet of ice. Because with it scraped bare like that, the sun's going to melt it down, and once it does, it's going to, you know, you'll get that water on top, and then with this really cold temperature, it's just going to freeze right over and make it worse. So that little ½ inch or so that's on there is actually going to help people get better traction anyway. That big bridge you see in the back there is the North Grand Island Bridge. North Grand Island Bridge. Pretty big. But with the river here and it wide open, we get drifts through here a lot. They're usually not too bad, but we get the occasional drifts. But like I mentioned to you guys earlier, I took the wings off the plow. I love having wings, especially for parking lots. And even driveways, depending on how you're pushing snow, it makes life so much easier. But for just pushing up parking spots like this, it's 10 times easier to do it without the wings. So it just takes 2 seconds. It's just 3 clips that hold the wings on. I pop the clips off and pull the wing off and throw the wings in the bed of the truck, so that way I have them if I need them. But it's my blade is 7.5 foot wide the way it sits right now. When I put those wings on, I'm 2 inches shy of 9 foot, so I can get into more spaces without them on there, and it's just easier to push these up without them. Any of you guys that plow with wings on will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just easier to just pop them off once in a while. It's not like probably in under 2 minutes I can get out of the truck, put both wings on and back in the truck, so it's not like it's a big deal. But yeah, for just cruise, I'm not out plowing everything, just cruising up here and cleaning up these spots. It takes an extra weight off. I don't remember exactly what it is. I want to say it's 70 pounds, something like that, between the 2 wings, that it adds to the weight of the plow. So, you know, it wasn't much of a big deal to take them off, and it actually reduces the weight. Anytime I can drive with less weight on, you know, I'm happy about it. But like right here, this is a tight spot. Just the way they parked, they didn't leave a whole heck of a lot of room, but you know, I probably still could have got in there with the wings on. It just made it a lot easier to not have them on. These would be good lots to salt. I've mentioned to them before, I don't have a salter. There have been over the years. I don't have nothing now that requires salt. But I have had a couple properties over the years that they did require salt, and it was cheaper for me to sub that out. And I would plow a lot, and as soon as I got done with a lot, I'd shoot a text to this guy, and he would, within an hour, he would run through and salt my lots. There was only 2 that he did, and but it was much cheaper just to do that versus me buying a salter. I didn't have the big demand for it, so it wasn't worth it. Whenever you guys have heard in my videos, whether it's, you know, snow removal or mowing, any type of landscape and things like that, I want the fastest return on my investment I can possibly find. You'll see right here, I'm pushing right to the edge. I lift the blade up a little bit and then push it up further, right up to that fence. That way they can get the full use of the parking spot. But back to what I was saying, I want the fastest return on my investment. So if I'm forking out money, I want that thing to pay itself off as quickly as I possibly can, which, you know, optimally, that's what anybody should be doing. That's the smartest way to do it. I know a lot of guys this year that went out and bought plows because they thought they were missing out on the whole snow removal scene. So, you know, they went out and spent thousands of dollars on plows, spent all this money on trucks and everything else, and we barely got any snow at all this year. So now they're sitting on that investment, and they got to pray that we get snow next year. Otherwise, they're sitting on it for another year. That's insane. I would never, ever think about doing that. What a nightmare. You know, that's got to be... talk about a life lesson for them. I hope they did learn from it. But it's yeah, when you guys buy something, I ran used mowers off Craigslist for years, and as you guys see, I just got a used one off Craigslist, but it has very, very low hours on it, and it's in great shape, and I made a good deal. But for the most part, I buy it new. I've gotten to that point where I buy new, but I make sure that I have the clientele that it's going to pay for itself. Like I put money away for that brand new Scag Freedom Z I bought in the 2015 season. What I did actually, the way I was brought up, it's you pay for everything in cash. If you don't have the money to pay for it, then you don't need it bad enough. And that's just the way I was brought up. Well, that didn't do anything for my credit. That I didn't have bad credit, but I had no credit, which is worse. So what I did with that Scag was I made sure I had the money to go in and buy it outright in cash. So I went in, I got myself on some payments, and I got a loan. I'm paying a little higher interest than I want to, but I got a loan, and then I set it up so they take the monthly payments out of an account every month. What I did is I took all that money, I put it right in that account, and I don't touch it. So the full cost of the mower is already in that account, and they just take their payments out every month. Well, it is now February 13th of 2016. I bought that mower, I think I bought it in August, I want to say. I think I bought it in August. My credit was at like 518 when I bought that mower, and it updates weekly. So I go on Credit Karma all the time, and I constantly check it every week. And when I just checked it the other day, I was at 680. So I've gone from 518 to 680 since August. So it's August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 7 months. I've gone from 518 to 680. So it's definitely helped me out a lot. But the point is, I earned the money to buy that mower before I bought that mower. I know a lot of guys that they have 3 and 4 brand new mowers. They're paying, you know, anywhere from $7,000 to $20,000 for a mower, depending on what you have. And they better pray that they don't lose the business, or you know, something doesn't happen to their business, or they lose the clientele or whatever, because they still have to pay for that equipment. That bank doesn't give a shit whether or not you have customers. They don't care. It ain't their problem. They want their money. So, you know, and these guys that spent that money outright on plows this year, or got their plows on payments, because you can get payments on anything. They're going to be going through a hard time too, you know. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here, since I've been rambling on for so long, is make sure you guys know how long it's going to take to pay something off, and make sure that you're prepared for that and get the optimal return. Well, that's about it for this, guys. It's we're right about to the end here, and that's about the last I had to clear off. So I know this video was boring, but I hope it wasn't too boring. You guys listen to me ramble on for 13 minutes or something. But I'll try to get more footage if we get more snow, but I'm praying that don't happen. Alright guys, so that's all there is to it. There's just a few spots there that needed cleared out, and there's just a dusting here. I'm not bothering plowing this whole lot again, or the other lots. Not for a dusting on there. My contract is 3 inches and up anyway. I usually plow it at 2 inches, just because you wait too long here and it builds up, and then you people start driving on it, and then it's packed in. It's a nightmare to plow. It's just a big pain in the ass. So it's better to just do it when it gets to be about 2 inches. I just put the contract at 3 inches to give myself that comfort room in case I'm running behind or something. I can't get to it in time. It gives me that comfort room, but you know, I try to always get there by 2 inches. But yeah, you'll see. I mean, a bunch of people did move their cars. I'm actually surprised, but there's still some spots where you can tell the cars haven't been moved. I don't know. It could be someone that, you know, maybe they're sleeping, maybe they don't work, they don't need to go out, and hell, I don't blame them. I wouldn't go out in this nasty cold if I didn't have to either. But that's the way it is. A bunch of you guys have asked before my older plowing videos and stuff like that, when I got this new boss, like, do I have the joystick joystick controllers or not. This is my controller. Okay, I got up, down, left, right. That's it. That's it. Nice and simple. Right up here is the power button to turn the remote on and off, and I just have a spot it hangs from right here on my dash. I got a clip there, and it just hangs on there. But that's it. Nice and simple. Turn all these strobes off now. I run my strobes even in the daytime because people are idiots and they'll back right out in front of you. Like, they don't even pay attention. They don't see that, oh, he's plowing snow or, you know, whatever. They don't care. They just back right out in front of you. So I run strobes no matter what. And you guys have seen my dual 36-inch yellow strobe bars. One faces forward, one faces back. So you can see me all the way around, especially at night. It's extremely bright at night. But anyway, so that's the deal. I forgot to put the GoPro in the mount, so I didn't get to film the first lot that I did or half of the second lot that I did before I finally put the GoPro in its mount. So you got to see the second half of the second lot, and then you got to see the third and fourth lot. But yeah, so that's the verdict. That's the way it is, and that's what it's all about. Do I have to go back and clear them spots out? No, it's in my contract that I'm not responsible for snow that I cannot clear due to vehicles or other objects being in the way. So I don't have to go back and clear them out, but I always do. I always do the following day, and that's probably why, if you guys have seen in my my other videos, I upped the contract by a lot this year. Over a couple thousand I upped the contract by, and I didn't think they were going to sign on with me again this year. I really didn't want to drive up to the falls and do it, but it's they signed on anyway, and it's probably for reasons like that. I always show up. When the last company before me never showed up, I always show up, and I always come back the next day to clear spots. If it starts to build up too much into the lot, because I can only push back so far into the grass, if it starts to build up too much into the lot, I have a buddy of mine come up with his tractor with a bucket loader on the front, and he picks the piles up and moves them way back into the grass. So the lots never get smaller, ever. I always, even last year in February when I never got out of the truck, I plowed every single day, it never stopped. Even then, the lots never got smaller. As soon as I noticed they were starting to come out, I had them go up there and move them piles back. And I have all of that cost figured into my bid. You gotta account for that stuff. This year, I haven't had to have him move anything back, and I won't. I'll almost guarantee I won't. I mean, do I know what's going to happen the rest of the winter? No, but I almost guarantee I will not have to have him move piles this year. You know, so that's all extra that was figured into my budget, into my bid, that now I don't even have to worry about, because I don't have to pay him that money to do it. I'll just give you a little idea. He charges me $80 an hour to move that stuff back, and he's fast. He's actually my old boss that I used to do landscaping for years ago. He focuses 90% of his stuff now on installs and Unilock. He's an authorized Unilock dealer, and that's what he focuses mostly on. So I send him all my Unilock, and he sends me all his mowing, and it works out. But anyway, he charges me $80 an hour to come back and do that, which is a very, very good price for my area. I don't know what y'all get in your area, but in my area, it usually starts at about $125 an hour to have somebody come out with a piece of equipment, just for moving snow. If they were doing other work like dirt, dig, and stuff like that, then it's even higher than that. But he charges me $80 an hour, and it's in my bid at $150 an hour. And I do a minimum of 4 times of him having to come and do that, and it takes him about 2.5, 3 hours every time he's in now there fast. So I figure for 4 hours a shot at $150 an hour, and I figure it times 4 times of him having to come out and do it. So, you know, like I said, it takes him 2.5 hours, maybe 3 at max, and I figure for 4 at $150 an hour, and he charges me $80 an hour. So even if he did have to come out that 4 times, I'm still making money on him coming out to do that, and it's all in my bid. So without him having to come out at all this year, that was all that extra money in my pocket. But anyway, so that's how I figure it. And that's why I don't mind swinging back up the next day and clearing out some spots after people move their cars and stuff like that, because I'm already making a ton of money off of it. But, you know, they don't really care. I won't raise it anymore. I've already raised it enough. So if I do decide to take them on again next year, I'll do it for the same amount. And plus, last year, gas was like $4 a gallon when I was plowing them. This year, it's averaging around $1.70. So I'm making out. And I have all that figured in, too, and I'm making out there, too. So I won't raise their price again last year. I raised it quite a bit this year thinking they weren't going to bite, and they did. So I've definitely made a killing. I made over $6,000 on those lots this year before I dropped a blade one time, just in their monthly payments. So, and that's how it broke down. They have to pay me a set amount of deposit down by November 1st, and then they have to pay me a set amount by the 1st of the month for the next 5 months. And last year I got my last payment from them while I was mowing grass. So it worked out real good last year, but they definitely got their money's worth out of me too, because I had to move piles twice last year. I had to have them come up and move piles. Plus February I plowed there almost every single day for the whole month. So that's just a little rough idea. I'm big on not giving my prices for a couple of reasons. It doesn't matter if it's mowing, it doesn't matter if it's plowing. Over 90, probably 97% of the people that follow me on YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff, don't even live in my area. So for me to give you my prices on stuff, it would be completely irrelevant to you. It would make no sense, and you can't see all the full details to see what I charge anyway. So you can't see why I charge for what I charge. And besides, if any of my customers ever tapped onto one of my YouTube videos or my Instagram or something like that and saw me on there, I don't want them knowing I'm giving out their prices, sharing their financial business. So I'll never do it. I've had many people ask me, and I either just ignore you or I try to politely as I can tell you I'm not giving you that information. Some people pry, and then I just go right to their account and I block them. Because, you know, if you're ignorant enough for me to nicely tell you one time, listen, I'm not going to give you those prices, and you pry anyway, then you're just a dick, and I'm going to block you. So, but the people I've had to do that to don't even know I'm saying this because they're blocked. But anyway, that's neither here or there. So I don't give out my prices, but just to give you guys an idea on how I bid it, that's how I do it. For driveways, I've just been doing it so long, I just know. For a driveway that's roughly twice the length of my truck and one vehicle width wide, if I could put the snow wherever I want and they don't give me any shit, it's $20 a shot. If they want to be picky on where I put the snow, then it goes 25 to 30 a shot. In all my residentials, I don't do contract, it's all pay per plow. I total them up at the end of the month and they get an invoice just like for mowing. And that's how I do that. All my commercials are all contract, like I told you. They pay monthly, a set amount down by November 1st, and then monthly. I break it down either over 4 months or 5 months. But yeah, so that's that. And I know this video is kind of boring today, guys, just watching me clear out some spots, but that's what I got for you today. I'm out.